Is there political will to set up a commission of inquiry into state capture? What does explosive testimony being given at the Eskom inquiry mean for Minister Lynne Brown? And was the permanent appointment of Brian Molefe to the power utility in 2015 legal? What can be made of the threats to committee members and witnesses appearing before the Parliamentary Inquiry into Eskom? What time is it? That's question time. Khotsong, Kurula, Mraro, and welcome to the show. My name is Mpho Tsedu. The Parliamentary Inquiry into Eskom continues to dominate headlines. Last week, Public Enterprises Minister Lynne Brown and former Chief Executive Brian Molefe appeared before the committee. For his part, a former Trillian employee, Mosilo Mothepu, said the company's Chief Executive Officer, Eric Wood, made huge profits by knowing beforehand that Nhlanhla Nene was going to be fired as Finance Minister in 2015. Meanwhile, Organization Undoing Tax Abuse has welcomed testimony given by former Eskom Chairperson Zola Tsotsi, Board Chairperson Khulani Qoma, and suspended head of legal Suzanne Daniels. The lobby group says their revelations confirms their views about the depth of state capture at the power utility. In another development, the DA is demanding protection for committee members and witnesses appearing before the inquiry. But what is the inquiry into Eskom likely to achieve? We are live, and therefore you can call us and air your views. The numbers to dial 089-110-4210. Our Twitter handle at QuestionTime24. My guest today, Ben Theron, he's the Chief Operations Officer at OUTA, Organization Undoing Tax Abuse. And joining us from our Parliament studios is Zugiswa Ranto. She is the Acting Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Public Enterprises, and we welcome both of them here to the show. So Zugiswa, welcome to the show as well. Let me just start with you right away. Is it a dangerous thing that you're doing? I mean, if people's lives are now being threatened, I thought you were just doing, what you're supposed to do as members of parliament.
Good afternoon. I didn't get your question clearly because there's a sound behind you that is disrupting.
Okay. The question is, I had thought, the proceedings of the hearings are just another day, in a job for you in Parliament, but it would appear some are receiving death threats and all that. Is it becoming dangerous?
Not really. It's not becoming dangerous, There are those elements that would want to disrupt the committee, but I don't see it as a dangerous situation for now.
Okay. What do you expect out of it?
I'm expecting that everybody should accept the inquiry, accept that we are doing our oversight work as per the Constitution of South Africa, that is mandating a committee of parliament to do oversight on the executive.
Well, that's a technical answer you've given me. Now I want practicalities.
Pardon me?
I'm saying you have given me a technical answer, which is what obviously every committee has to have, recommendations, and it must be accepted. What I'm trying to find out from you is, what do you expect to get out of this process, this hearings that you exactly? Thank you.
Thank you very much. So what we are expecting out of what we are doing as a committee, we are expecting to make recommendations to Parliament, and we are expecting that every recommendation that we are going to do will be followed up by the relevant by the relevant bodies. If we have a recommendation that goes to Hawks, the Hawks will follow up on those recommendations. Also, as a committee, we will not leave it there. We will see to it that all our recommendations are being followed and there is something that is happening, or if there is anything that a body has to take, an action that has to take, that action has to be taken.
How would you summarize the proceedings so far? What have you learned?
The summary that I can give of the proceedings are going very well. And everybody is participating. The proceeding are yielding results, because if you remember, the McKinsey International company came to the committee and they promised to pay back the money that they were given by Eskom.
So there is state capture at Eskom?
Sorry?
I'm saying, so you can now say there is some form of capture at Eskom?
I can't hear you clearly, but I assume that you are saying the state capture will continue, or what are you saying?
I'm saying, can you now say at least there's some evidence that has come forth that proves that indeed there is some capture of Eskom?
I would say, according to the evidence that is in front of us, there is mismanagement of money within Eskom. There is a governance problem within Eskom that needs to be corrected.
What do you call that mismanagement?
Misappropriation of funds.
What?
Yeah. Okay, now I'm now talking to Outer here in studio. I wanted to just get perhaps their description of this mismanagement you are referring to.
Corruption.
So, okay, that's how best to describe it.
Absolutely.
But I must tell you that these proceedings have, yes, I know that they have not been concluded, but the information that is coming out there, it's damning.
The word we use is explosive. It is unbelievable. We always knew that there's corruption, but the amount of corruption and the breadth of corruption is scary. We did not realize how deep and how big it is.
So who do we believe here?
As in?
As in, do we believe the minister? Do we believe Brian? Do we believe Ntate Tsotsi?
Everybody at the moment is throwing everybody else under the bus, as somebody previously said in some other case. And it's very scary to see that, because everybody's saying, I didn't know. It is that person's responsibility. It is that person's responsibility. And what we can't believe is that the minister sits somewhere and says, I have no idea what has happened. So, but ultimately the minister is the executive authority, and she's got to accept responsibility for the appointments that she made in terms of the chairperson and the board, as well as the senior positions that were filled. Under what conditions do you, in a regular basis, change the CEO of an organization of this size? There are 47,000 people working there. Every 3 months there's a new CEO. That's unacceptable. If you want to have stability, you want to be able to, at least in some shape or form, look into the future and know where you're going. You need to have a CEO that's there for 4 or 5 years and beyond to make sure that there's stability. There is no stability in that place.
Let's go to Limpopo. Andrew, welcome. Andrew?
Yes, hello?
Hi, welcome.
Yes, Nico.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Nico, according to me, I think it's a futile exercise what they are doing. Because those guys, if you can check, their purpose is just to come there and deny the fact of everything that they have done. And more so that they know that the laws of this country are no more very active. They will just say whatever they want to say and leave it there. And more so that they know again, they are out there after this thing, the parliament won't do anything. It will take some time for them to take an action. So Basically, what I'm trying to say is there's no loss in South Africa. It's like a warning that watch out, there are dogs, biting dogs. And only to find when you get into that particular house, you don't find any dog.
Okay.
So it's a threat to us. If the laws of this country are very stringent, basically we wouldn't be seeing these things of the Guptas, the Brian Molefe capturing, and the Tsotsis capturing. So what I'm saying is, it is a futile exercise after all because nobody will ever be arrested. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Andrew, for that. Meranto, Andrew thinks you're wasting your time.
Are you speaking to me?
Well, that's Andrew. It's not me. Andrew says you are wasting your time.
Oh.
Yes, because there's nothing that's going to come out of this. It's just going to be recommendations, but nobody's going to face the law.
I couldn't hear anything what you're saying.
Okay, let me try this. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to return. Hopefully that line will be better. 089-1104-210 is the number to dial. Please don't go away.
A new 1 litre from Carling Black Label. Share the ultimate reward.
It takes patience and the finest ingredients to craft a milk stout of superior quality that is made to be savored by the most refined palate. Castle Milk Stout. Savor your richness.
Could I get an alcohol-free beer, please?
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, but make it a castle-free.
Castle free. 0% alcohol. 100% Castle.
Finally, getting the click in Xhosa right. Mowing the lawn without mowing the cable. When your washing machine gives you all your socks back.
With so many good deals at the Tops at Spa Subfest, you'll find any reason to celebrate. Get this 12-pack of Amstel Lager 440ml cans for only $99.99. Only at the Tops at Spa Subfest.
Welcome back. You're still watching Question Time. Our guest today, Ben Theron, is the COO at Outer, and joining us from our Parliament studios, Umamzugiswa Aranto. She's the acting chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Public Enterprises. And Felix Listen, Nelspruit, welcome.
Thank you, Mpo, for taking my call.
You're welcome.
Oh, yes. I think the inquiry will not yield anything that we don't know already.
Oh.
Let's be serious. We know what is going on. It is a fact that if a car is not driving properly, is driving from right to left, hitting one pole, hitting the tree, entering the ocean, you already know the driver is not driving properly. You already know that. So set up an inquiry simply because you want to know why the car is not driving properly, it's just a waste of time. We know Jacob Zuma is the driver of the whole thing. Is the one that has been captured. Is the one that is messing up the whole country. So why can't we call a spade and tell this man to go? This is where the problem is. We just don't have a good leader in this country, and that's what the problem is.
Felix, thanks very much. Mamranto, did you hear that question? Well, the comment?
I didn't hear what the
caller,
the listener has said. I didn't really hear what he said. I just heard Zuma there and there. I didn't hear the real comment.
Okay, well, what he's saying is, why don't you just deal with the person whom Felix says everybody knows is the problem? Eskom is not well because President Zuma is is driving the whole thing. So his question is, why is the president not just being, I guess, shown the door? And I think my question over and above that is he one of the witnesses? I mean, realizing that there's so much implications here, people are just throwing his name here and there.
No, this is very bad. It's unfortunate because I couldn't hear even what you are saying.
Wow, I really don't know why we are battling with this line. Our technicians would have to deal with that, and let me just apologize to our viewers for that, because it is important that these questions are answered. But as Outer, you hold the view that Eskom is actually regressing.
If you look back at over the last 10 years, 2005-2016, let me just read some figures off a piece of paper for you.
Okay.
In 2005, there were 31,400 employees. 2016, there's 47, so it's a 47,000, which is a 50% increase. The salary staff cost was 7.9 billion. It grew to 33 billion. 4 times. Here's 4 times. Here's a question. How much electricity more did they produce? Nothing. 10 years ago, it was 207,000 gigawatts. Today, it's 214. A 7 gigawatts increase. 50% staff more, and 4 times the salary band, with no increase in productivity. Then they have the audacity to tell us that they want a 19.8% increase. Something is sick in this environment. But I want to speak, although the chairperson can't hear us, during the process, a lot of evidence was laid.
Yeah.
Lots of names were given.
Yes.
We want to call on the chairperson, I hope she can hear me now. We want to call on the chairperson to call those that were implicated. Amongst others, if you look at the minister, when the people came we wrote a report, No Room to Hide, and I spoke to you previously about that. Around the minister, everybody is implicated. Her PA, Kim Davis, her partner, that office, she was surrounded by people that were all implicated in one shape, form, or another. Last week on Friday, 2 weeks ago, public questions were asked from the ministers, and a question was asked: who in the department of who in Eskom has interest with Eskom?
And there's one in her department.
Within the Department of Public Enterprises, and I want to talk about Eskom. There's one senior executive that in fact has a contract with Eskom, he's a director of a company, that has a contract with Eskom for 20 years to the tune of 25 billion rand.
Okay.
You can't make me quiet like that. That's a lot of zeros. For somebody employed in Eskom, something is wrong.
Somebody who works for Eskom has a contract worth 25 billion rand.
Yes. He's a director in a company in the Northern Cape.
Chairperson, can you hear me?
Vaguely.
Okay, that's enough for me. I can live with vaguely. Somebody is making 25 billion rand, and this person works for Eskom, or rather works for the department that you're overseeing.
Eskom?
Oh, works for what? For Eskom, rather. And has a contract worth 25 billion rand?
A person that is overseas, that is working for Eskom on 25 billion rand contract.
No, not overseas. I'm saying
in South Africa.
the enterprise which you oversee as a committee. There's somebody there who is employed at Eskom who has a contract of 25 billion rand.
What is the question then?
How is it possible? You can't be working for Eskom and still have business interest within Eskom worth that much, and it is not an issue?
You know, as I have said before, there is a lot of mismanagement of finances in Eskom. There is a lot of failure within the governance of Eskom. When we took the initiative of doing the inquiry, that's exactly what we have seen, which we think that those issues need to be given attention to, and those that need to be brought into books, they must be brought into books.
Okay, let's take a quick break. When we return, we'll wrap up this program. This is question time.
I got this feeling, oh baby, magic in my step. You make me feel so good, so fine. When I got showtime every day.
You told the number, yeah.
Celebrate joy with Reds.
Let's go, Eugene. You got this, man. Let's go, buddy. You safe. Let's go now. Go.
2 weeks earlier.
What do you guys do?
We do IT.
IT?
Yeah.
That's great.
Share a castle, make some new friends.
Welcome back. Joy, you're calling us from the northwest. Joy, oh, okay, Joy is gone. All right. Let's wrap up the show. Chairperson, the Brian Molefe saga, has he paid the 30 million rand back, or what is the state of affairs in as far as that money is concerned?
Brian Molefe was not paid the 30 million rand.
Okay.
He got the 7-something million rands, which include the pension funds that he brought to Eskom from Transnet. The other amount of money, the 23 or 22-something billion, is within the pension fund of Eskom. It is not with Brian Molefe.
Fine, but it is in his name.
Brian Molefe is willing, in his reply when he came to the inquiry, he said he's willing to pay whatever he has to pay back to Eskom. If there is any amount of money that he has to pay, he is willing to pay. He is working with, he's waiting for people from Eskom to say how much must he pay back. If there is any that he has to pay back from the 7 million that he has received.
Okay. Well, let's wrap up the show. What next?
Eskom is rotten. It's rotten to the level of plant level, where people at the plant level are actually chowing our money. What is very interesting is that McKinsey, who got 1 billion rand, lots of zeros, and Trillian, who got 600 million. Now, McKinsey said we will pay back the 1 billion rand that we got paid from Eskom. All we need is for Eskom to say, please pay us back the money. Somewhere there's a disconnect. It's a billion rands of your and my money lying there somewhere else. Why don't somebody grow a backbone and tell McKinsey to go and pay back the money? That's what's required. But what we need in the new year is that something needs to happen with Eskom where potentially a judicial inquiry should go in there and fix that place up.
Okay. Well, that was question time for today. A big thank you to my guests and to you for watching the show. And on that note, we also send our condolences to the family and colleagues right here at the SABC of Clement Trebo Manyapelo, who passed on last week. And from the entire team here at Question Time, we say may his soul rest in peace. On that note, have yourself a wonderful time. Have a hot.